Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video over on PrizePicks. I got my 4 favorite plays today in the WNBA, but first up, do me a huge favor, drop a like on this one. Takes you 2 seconds, completely free. Let's try to get to 50 likes in this video. And now, just in case you haven't done it already, I want to make sure every single one of you is claiming your free $300 by using code BAM or code FFBAM on these 3 apps right here. Because a lot of people make a lot of excuses saying, I don't want to sign up for a new app. It takes too much time. I'm already used to one app. I'm telling you guys, if you want to make money, you're watching this video. And if you're watching this video, you might as well just sign up on one of these apps and start making some money today without locking in any picks. Let's see how you guys can do this right now. So PrizePicks is giving you a play $5, get $150 if you win. So right in, just lock in on PrizePicks, play your first $5, use code BAM on that. And then once you win your entry, you get $150 in your account. Easy as. Underdog is doing the exact same thing, except they don't care if you win or lose. They're giving you $50 right away once you sign up with code BAM. So that's PrizePicks, that's Underdog. 2 apps you could hop on, and you made $200 already. But it's not done yet because Rebet is giving you guys up to $100 when you sign up with code FFBAM. So it's code FFBAM for Rebet, code BAM for PrizePicks and Underdog. But once you guys use these codes and lock in on these apps, you guys can start making money immediately. PrizePicks, Underdog are just play $5, get your money. Rebet is whatever you put in up to $100, they're going to give you right back. So if you put in $20, you get $40. If you put in $50, you're getting $100 total. If you put in $100 total, you're getting $200 total. What would my recommendation be? Of course, to max it out, put in the full 100. That's what I did on my Rebet account. If you guys do that on your Rebet account as well and lock in using code FFBAM, you can go from literally 0 on your Rebet account to 200, and you only got 100 of those out of your own pocket. It makes no sense why these apps are doing this. And if you guys don't like the app, well, what do you know? You can just hop off the app in a week and say, nah, I just want to go back to my usual app, whether that be FanDuel, DraftKings, PrizePicks, whatever. You can just go back to your regular app. But if you guys want to make money, it makes genuinely no sense to not try out another app and start making some money. And I'm doing you guys a favor. If you guys sign up on any one of these apps using my code, just comment down below, say, yo, BAM, I just signed up for this app, or just drop any comment down below, and I will go ahead and get you guys on a VIP pass for the entire month for free. So you guys are getting my best picks for the entire month for free, and you guys can go ahead and lock in on these apps. Now, let's get into the picks for today. And starting it off, we are going to just talk about these plays on Underdog Fantasy. Today, we're locking in on Underdog because Underdog just did probably one of the craziest things ever I have ever seen in the sports betting game. And I've been in this game for a decent amount of time. And Underdog Fantasy, what they did was they changed their payout structures. Yet again, they've been doing this a good amount now. Let me see if I can go ahead and get some text up here for you guys. So what Underdog Fantasy did, right? It used to be, the old way was for a 4-man flex, you would get 10x for correct, right? 4 out of 4. And then you would get, it would be 5x if you went 3 out of 4. Or 5x if you went 4 out of 4 on a flex play. And then you would get like, I think it was 1.5x if you went 3 out of 4, right? So hopefully this makes sense. This is how the old play used to be, right? Flex would be, or this would be power, and then this would be flex, right? But Underdog just changed this. They said if you're going 4 out of 4 on your entry, this should be 4-man payouts, right? If you're getting 4 out of 4 on your entry, Underdog goes, you know what? You can get 12x for that. Insane. Already way higher than every other app out there. And if you go for a 4-man flex play, you're getting 7.2x, which is very, very good, and 1.8x here for a 3 out of 4. So Underdog just basically changed their game to make it so that you guys can make more money on the app doing the exact same stuff that you already do. Now, why on earth would anybody lock in on any other app except for Underdog right now? I don't know. Why on earth would anybody even not be on Underdog right now? I don't know, because they are paying the best out of every other app in the business. I'm locking in almost every single one of my plays on Underdog, and today we're locking in 4 plays in the WNBA, and they are all on Underdog Fantasy. We're locking them in as a 4-man, and actually we're taking this as a flex play entry. So I like this as a 7.2x for if we go 4 out of 4, but even if we don't go 4 out of 4, it's a 1.8x. So we're nearly doubling our money if we hit 3 out of 4 of these. Very, very good right there. Now, without further ado, use code BAM on Underdog Fantasy. And now let's get into the picks. Starting it off with A'ja Wilson right here on the over at 37.5 PRA. This is one of my favorite picks of the day. And if we look at this, there are a lot of good things pointing to this. First of all, one of these starters is game time decision, Jackie Young here. Of course, they don't play the same position. Is it going to matter a ton? Nah, kind of a little bit. She'll probably have a more impactful role when Jackie Young doesn't play, but I don't think it's going to be a huge deal. The main thing that we're really looking at here is that in her last 10 games, she's hit this in 6 out of the last 10 games. And she's not just hitting this, guys. She's averaging well over 40 PRA. And the line for today is just 37.5. This is way too low compared to really where this line should be. And additionally, this one will be a close game, right? This one will be a very close game. Right now, the Aces are 9.5 point underdogs. So I expect them to actually cover that. I expect them to keep this one closer. And I expect A'ja Wilson to go over here. And if we look at this, not just in the 10 game sample size, well, how do we look at it on the season, right? She's played 30 games so far this season, and she's hit in 57% of these games, feeling very, very good about this pick. And it's not just all that, guys. The matchup is also elite. There are so many green flags for this particular pick. This pick is insanely good. If we go to this one right here, right? The Liberty going up against centers in particular. Well, how do they match up? They're actually the 10th best points allowed defense, so they're pretty bad. And they're actually the 13th best assist allowed defense. They're pretty bad in that category too. And whoops, the rebounding allowed defense is pretty middle of the road. Okay, so they're medium on rebounds, horrible on points, horrible on assists, guys. This is a prime matchup for A'ja Wilson, literally MVP right here, to go ahead and hit the over here at 37.5 PRA. And it's not just me who thinks this, guys. It is also the other apps besides Underdog. Other apps right now have this just sitting at higher prices. Fliff has it at -110. PrizePicks has it at -119. And I use DailyGrindFantasy to go find these plays. If you guys want to lock it on Daily Grind Fantasy, you guys can hit the link in the description below. I find the plays on my own and then I double check it with Daily Grind. And if they like it too, well, I'm feeling really good about myself locking in this pick. So A'ja Wilson's going to be the first pick of the day. And now we're sticking in the same game, going over to Breanna Stewart on the under at 34.5 PRA. This is going to be the second play of the day. And I like this one too. Even though she's only hit this on the one time in the last 5 games, don't let that deceive you guys. I know a lot of people online go over to their PrizePicks, their little PrizePicks box there, and they see if it's a green, graph or a red graph, and that's all they pick, right? They see this and they'll go, oh no, the over looks green, so I'll take the green. Like, guys, no, that's not the way you bet. You don't always just bet looking at the last 5. I know people who do that, and I know people who lose money doing that. If we look at this in the long term, she's hit the under in 18 out of 32 games for a 56% clip. Very, very good looking at the under. And her average is 32 right here on the median. So her average is 2.5 points under what the current line is at. And this is, yet again, I was going to say it, actually a pretty okay matchup, right? The assists, very, very good matchup right here. And the points and the rebounds, middle of the road. I'm not going to say it's insanely good. I'm not going to say it's bad. But guys, this matchup is okay. Straight up, that is what it is, right? And if we look at this, her minutes are very, very similar. And other, players against this team, honestly, there's not much here. It's very, very middle of the road. But I really, really do like this one because I know a lot of people are going to be looking at this line and going on the over. It's going to inflate its way up and we can take the value on the under. And that's a classic tactic you guys can use as well. When you see a line moving up a lot, and you see its difference from other sports picks around, you might think, well, it's actually just moving up because of the popular inflation. And in this case, that is exactly what's happening. A lot of people are taking her on the over just because of the last 5, and you never really want to be betting on just that. Now getting into the third play of the day, we're going for Paige Bueckers on the under at 1.5 3-pointers. Paige, you guys already saw it earlier, but let's go ahead and talk about it right now. Paige Bueckers on the under here. Another great play. It might look like she's hit this a lot of times on the season. She's hit a lot of times recently, but you got to look at this more in the long term, right? Look at other apps, right? Other apps, not just me, not just the guy on YouTube who actually does make good picks, but just the guy on YouTube who's talking to you guys. Look at the billion-dollar companies out there, right? Because FanDuel and DraftKings, they got to look at every line and they got to set it with around -115 to -115 on either side. And if they push one side lower, then they got to push the other side up, right? That's just the seesaw that these apps play. Well, look at what's happening right now. FanDuel has this at -130. Fliff has it at -130. DraftKings -133. Profit -140. Novig -140. Sleeper -140, right? Other apps are clearly saying the under is actually quite a good pick. The under would hit at -140 rates for them, right? If they're only willing to offer you a -140 for this pick, they know it's more likely to cash than it is to miss, right? Because the -140 is not going to pay you out a ridiculous amount compared to a -110. Obviously, you guys know regular odds. So this is a straight up plus EV pick. Because Underdog and PrizePicks, you guys can take this wherever you want, but I'm taking it on Underdog. Underdog is giving us a straight up pick for this. You could take the over, you could take the under, they don't really care. But we know by looking at other apps that the under is actually a better pick than the over, because the under on other apps would pay us minus 140, whereas the over would probably pay us around minus 110 or plus 110. So the under is significantly more valuable in this case, and we can go ahead and lock this one in for Paige Bueckers. That is going to be play number 3 right here. And to finish this out, we're going for Onyeka Ogwumike on the over at 2.5 assists. Hopefully I said that name right. Point being, this is another lovely pick. She has hit this in 7 out of the last 10 games, and she's not just hitting this, guys, she's crushing this line, getting 3.7 assists per game, and all we need here is 3 assists. Is it a great matchup for her? No. I'm not going to come on here and say it's a great matchup. It is probably one of the worst matchups you get in the league, but just to get 3 assists here, guys, I like this one a ton. I like this one an absolute ton. And if you want to do it based on the plus EV, you want to see, do we have a small edge here on the plus EV as well? Well, guess what? We do. On PrizePicks, this is straight up a goblin. On DraftKings, this is minus 136. On FanDuel, this is minus 125, right? Novik, minus 133. Most apps are actually favoring this to go on the over. Like if it's a goblin on PrizePicks, but on Underdog, it's a regular pick, you guys can understand which app you take it on, right? Underdog is obviously more valuable for this pick. So this is going to come in for us as the last play of the day. 2.5 assists. We need the over. And guys, this is coming through for us over on Underdog Fantasy. If you're not on Underdog Fantasy, lock in using code BAM, play your first $5, get $50 in your account. I'm taking this as a 4-man flex play. Let's try to go for 4 for 4, excuse me. That's all I got. I appreciate y'all watching the video, and let's make some money on the WNBA on Sunday.